Maybe wondering why I did the intro in silence today because we are going over G.I.Joe, A Real American Hero, number 21, Silent Interlude.
That's the best introduction ever, Sonny. You might as well end the show now. That was fantastic.
We have a special episode where we're doing the whole thing in silence today. Yeah, right. An hour of just silence and going like that.
Jamie's very excited about it.
Perfect.
Oh, that was fun.
So yeah, Blake said, looking forward to reviewing number 21, Silent Interlude today. We have some hot comic book news. We'll be talking about some Boom Studios stuff with BRZRKR and Once in Future. There's something big happening in the MCU today, which we'll be going over later. And I have some updates on X-Men 97. We'll be going over our works. We'll have another game of Do You Know? And our topic of the week, which was, what, in your opinion, is the greatest fight in comics and why? So it was a good, fun pre-show we had. We talked about spoilers and how we pretty much all hate them, and we're all going to try to go see Spider-Man before our next episode.
I don't think we had the same conversation.
You like spoilers?
I don't care.
Oh, well, me and Tim, we agree we hate spoilers.
Yeah,
Sonny, this is why we'll go see a movie together, and Jamie can go by himself, and then we'll all meet up afterwards and talk about it.
It's not like I don't do that already. Go see a movie. Oh my God, I gotta go sit alone and no one sit around me. How horrible.
Yeah, I've done that. I've been there myself too. So
I'd fall asleep.
Thank you, Sonny. That's what happens when you're lonely.
But hey, at least one time I went to the theater and I had some guy sitting next to me and the guy was snoring. Not happy.
No, never. I've had that too. And then he woke up at the end after he drank like 12 beers. He fell asleep during the middle, like the beginning of the movie, and then woke up at the end credits of Black Panther and looked at everybody after he just annoyed everyone the whole movie and goes, "You guys are leaving already? There's an end credit scene." Thank you, buddy.
Man.
Like,
really looking forward to returning to theaters. I haven't been to one in 2 years. I'm really looking forward to that. But let's get on to our comic book news. We started with some silence, but now let's get things loud again with Boom Studios. Jamie, take it away.
So happy that this week BRZRKR number 6 is back. They had a little bit of a hiatus, which usually happens when you come to independent comics. Anything over usually 4 issues or a story arc, you get a mini break. Guys, this is actually up there in my favorite list of Boom titles, and I don't say that because of everything that's happened. I was reading this way before that started happening. This is the Keanu Reeves written book that came out, and guys, I gotta say, if you guys like John Wick and you guys like Vandal Savage, this is the book for you. This is it's like dark arts meets killing sprees. It just does not stop. So definitely go check this one out. They're coming back. They've been doing a big push on all social media right now for their first volume of their trade coming out. Perfect holiday gift. Keanu Reeves is sitting there, being beautiful and godlike all right there. And literally just promoting the book, which is amazing because it's that good. And I hope you guys get a chance to read it. Like, I really, really do, because it starts off awesome and it continues to be awesome. It's one of those books that's actually steady. Like, it's always going to be probably about the same grade for you guys if you guys review it.
Nice. I got a quick peek at issue number 6, the one about to come out, and yeah, what I saw was action packed. So this is
they're so
action packed,
gore.
violent, something that like I said, if you're a fan of reading something with a lot of violence and a lot of action, this is definitely the book to check out. So I'm looking forward to it.
And this is one of the ones that got popped up for a Netflix series.
Yeah, already.
Did it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's in talks already. Yep.
Nice. This is one that I always kind of pass up on when I'm at the comic store, and I just have never really had an urge to pick it up. But the way you guys talk about it, I might go check it out.
I would check out, just see, like, I would scroll through like issue 1, like see if they got the trade and just kind of look through it. The art's
Right
good.
on.
Like if the art doesn't catch your eye, then this book ain't for you.
Right on. See, I did that with Department of Truth. I waited till the trades came out, the first trade, and I picked that up, and I absolutely loved it. So I'm waiting for the second trade to come out. But with Berserker, I'll check that out. If the trades are coming out in time for Christmas, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I believe they're already out. You could definitely.
Are they?
check
Right on.
Yeah, the first one, it's issues 1 through 5. So
cool.
Yeah, and I mean, like I said, with the whole Netflix thing, it's awesome because, you know, it's I believe it's gonna be 12 issues, so we don't know what's going on like with the future, which leads us into our next segment. Which Sonny, you want to tell us about another good book?
Yeah, another one I'm really excited for is Once in Future, issue number 23. This is a series I'm not too familiar with, but we got to see a little bit of what's coming up in this issue. And the character, I gotta say, I'm really interested to find out who this character is, but I'm not sure if you guys saw it or not, but he looks really cool, and he reminds me of someone like, you know, I read a lot of 80s, 90s stuff. He reminds me like a character that would be
straight out of
really popular
like,
in the 90s.
So many pockets.
Yeah. I didn't see his pockets, but just the look he had is cool, like the different colors, the blue, it looks like, I don't know if he has a sword or something. I'm like, he'd be somebody that would be very popular in the 90s. So I'm curious to find out who this character is, but Once in Future 23 comes out December 29th, and I know I'll be very interested to check it out, who this character is and just what the story is. So this one I'm excited for.
Yeah, dude. Go ahead, Tim.
No, I was just gonna say, this is another one of the victims of there's so many books out there that I just can't look at them all, and this is unfortunately one of the ones that have flown under the radar for me. But I read the synopsis for the series itself, and that is intriguing, and so that's gonna make me want to go take a look at this. And with it being a Boom title, I mean, everything that I've read from Boom so far has been a hit, so I have no doubts that this would be either.
Yeah, even certain comics that I would look at and wouldn't think like, I don't know if I'd be so interested, and then I check it out, and they've always been pulling me in and have turned me into a fan. So with this one, I'm expecting to become a fan. So I'll be very surprised if I wasn't.
Yeah, no, this is definitely one of those ones that is a definite checkout. Like I was saying, like it just, to me, Boom's having a renaissance, and they're just becoming better and better each time I'm checking something out from them. And I mean, they're gonna be up there. They're definitely making a thrive for being one of the top, you know, comic book companies out there. Because I think before, when I looked, they were like number 9, and they were like number 12 at one point, and then now they're just, everything I've seen, they're just catching lightning in a bottle.
Well, see, Jamie, you say that every episode, and I can't say enough that is the closest to the mark that anybody's said about Boom and what they're doing right now. It's absolutely true.
Explain it. Like, how do you explain something that's having a great run?
Well, I mean, when you have a company that puts out consistently good titles that are adult oriented down to kid oriented, and there's a wealth of mix in between all of that, and they're good things to read. I mean, yeah, it is. It's just, I can't agree with you enough when you say that Boom is going through a renaissance right now.
Yeah, and like I said, I know I overuse that word at this point in time. It's like, I don't know what else word to use on it. Like, it's going through a new phase. Like, it doesn't sound right to me, but when you say Boom's going through renaissance, you sound like, I feel like they should write a book about, you know, that time period, and be like, you know, knights and all that. But yeah, no, it's definitely going to be good. I like the fact that a lot of, and this is a side tangent, a lot of companies are going back to that kind of like 80s and 90s style drawing. And I'm seeing it more and more every time I look, like, see any new book, which is cool. I mean, it's not exact, you know, verbatim what they look like, but you could see the inspiration in there.
Oh yeah, and I dig that style, though. I mean, that's what I grew up with, and I enjoy more the heavy 2D effect instead of as much realistic as possible. I like stuff like that. I think it looks great.
Right. I mean, sky's the limit with that one, but so.
Speaking of Sky, though, Skybound is in talks to acquire.
Guys, see what I did there?
Yeah, they are in talks to acquire G.I. Joe and Transformers publishing rights after they lapse with IDW. And let me go into that a little bit. So this article here is from the Hollywood Reporter, and the person that writes this is Boris Kitt. I'm only going to read the first two paragraphs. So basically what it says is such. Skybound, which is the imprint that Robert Kirkman does for The Walking Dead, they're currently in negotiations with Hasbro to acquire the publishing license for G.I. Joe and Transformers. Now, we all know that that is a huge loss for IDW as it stands right now, because those two are immensely popular toy lines. They're immensely popular comic book series and things like that. But the thing is that Kirkman's known to be a major fan of both properties, and it really sparks curiosity in my mind to see what he would want to do with G.I. Joe and with Transformers. Now, it's also said in the article that Kirkman wouldn't do any of the writing, but he would do more like a editorial or editor type stuff as far as the series goes. Now, with G.I. Joe, I wonder if they're going to continue to let Larry Hama come in and continue to tell the G.I. Joe stories he wants to tell, or are they going to start new and fresh and just kind of do a clean slate? What do you guys think?
I think it'd be pretty cool to continue, but I doubt they'll continue. I pretty much think that it's going to be something like they're going to start new. Like, okay, now we're taking over. This is a new direction for G.I. Joe, and we'll see what happens. We'll see where it takes it. It should be interesting to see, and then to see with Skybound if they do any crossovers with that. I'm not too familiar with a lot of the Skybound's work. Like we mentioned, The Walking Dead, but I wonder if
well, the big
see
two
some
with
characters.
Skybound are like The Walking Dead and Invincible and things like that.
Okay.
But both of those
There you go.
series are over. So
They got Oblivion song.
well, that's true.
There you go. Yeah, I thought we
You're
were
on the
maybe
Hall
going to
of Fame.
see Snake Eyes cutting up, hundreds of zombies. Who knows? We
If
shall see.
a little crossover, Snake Eyes. No, I think it's cool that they're in talks of picking them up. I this is the first time, probably the last time everyone hears, but I agree with Sonny. Like definitely on the aspect of they're gonna start new. That they, I mean, Kirkman can say all he wants that he's gonna be an editor. He's gonna jump on one of these books, even.
Oh yeah.
There's no way he ain't gonna be like, I got Transformers and G.I. Joe. I don't want to play with my action figures. No, that makes no sense. Like, I don't want to take them out of the package and see how cool they are. You're a writer. You're gonna make a world for it, bro. Like, there's no way around it.
As far as like IDW losing G.I. Joe and Transformers, that's a big hit, but I don't think it's a hit they can't recover from, because Ninja Turtles is flying high. I mean, the pizza slices are going everywhere.
They're
with
like
Turtles
issue
right now.
116
Right.
on their main, and then last run and still killing it. And that comes out like every 3 months.
Yeah, and they've got other titles and stuff that they can work on and put up into the spotlight too. So I think it'll be a major stumble, but I don't think it'll be something they can't recover from.
Exactly.
But going beyond that,
Oh, I like that one. That one's my favorite. But beyond that, Sean Murphy's come out and officially made the title for his new White Knight series, which is Batman Beyond the White Knight. Now, guys, I am so excited for this because I have to say that the White Knight series has been amazing. I've talked about it on the show. I've talked about it with you two. I've talked about it with you two off the show. I could talk about this book all day long because I've been keeping up with it. I love what they're doing with it. Now you're going to add in Batman Beyond. Take all my money.
Yeah.
Please. Like, I will buy the variants. I don't care. Like, this is an amazing thing to me to have. I for those who don't know, I do like Batman, but I also love Batman Beyond, and I've been collecting Batman Beyond forever. There's still a lot I want to learn, but I hope he takes this into a different direction. Like I even loved his comments underneath was like, "Do you like Batman Beyond? How about night with going on
You cut off for a little bit, Jamie.
with Red Hood? Am I good?
Now
Good.
you are.
Okay. Do you want to know what happens with Red Hood and a crowbar and that romance? And I was like, okay, you sold me like on Batman Beyond.
Yeah.
That's
So-
all you needed. So I mean, what do you guys think? What are you guys looking forward to? Like, I know you guys read the first White Knight. I don't know if you guys caught up with Curse of the White Knight or Harley Quinn. So
I
gotta get
have
caught up with
n-
those. I'll let you wait,
Oh,
Tim.
okay. I have not read anything else beyond White Knight so far, but the other things, Harley Quinn and definitely this Batman Beyond is on my radar of something to look at. Doing White Knight for Decoding Panels was one of the greatest times I ever had doing stories. So anything Sean Murphy writes, I'm with you, Jamie. Go ahead and take my money. I'm 100% down for that.
and
Yeah.
it's always quick. It's like anywhere from 6 to 12 issues. It isn't something that's
Mhm.
lengthy.
Right.
Yeah, like I said, Batman White Knight was the first book you had me review, and I surprising gave it 10 out of 10, but it definitely
I
earned it.
know.
You know, I loved it. It made me a fan, and I need to catch up. And I definitely want to catch up before getting to Batman Beyond the White Knight, because I think, like I said, with just that original Batman White Knight, it pulled me in, and I'm very confident that all the other series are going to be great as well. And this one, like I said, especially being a Batman Beyond fan, I'm really excited to see how he will fit into this story, what they're going to do.
Well, I love
Take
that
my money as well.
DC's I love that DC's letting Sean Murphy kind of have his own little section of the Elseworlds universe, I guess, or the multiverse, and letting him do whatever he wants to with Batman and Joker and Harley Quinn and all that stuff. I think that's really cool that they're giving
Yeah.
him that kind of creative freedom to craft the stories that he wants to make.
And he's doing a great job doing it. So don't take it away. Let him do what he has to do
Right.
because it's successful.
Yeah.
Okay. And speaking
Right.
of
And
other
I mean, like,
successful, Jimmy, did you freeze?
no,
Or
go ahead.
okay. I was say speaking of other successful shows, the one that got me into comics was X-Men the animated series. And now for X-Men 97, it has been said that the Rogue's voice actress, Lenore Zan, has already recorded 3 episodes of the X-Men 97 series. So fans of Rogue, she is back and is the original voice actress. And that already tells us that Rogue will be a main character in the series, that she's, like I said, she's already recorded multiple episodes. That means that show is on its way, you know. If she's recorded multiple ones, that means the scripts have been written. It means other voice actors have obviously been working on it as well. So I'm really interested to see more. I know they really want to get most of the voice actors and actresses. I know Jubilee's voice actress, like, she's not going to do it anymore. And then unfortunately, some of the other cast members have passed away, like Cyclops' voice actor, Magneto's voice actor, but a lot of the others are still around and are looking to jump on the series. So finding out that Lenore Zan is voicing Rogue definitely is something that I'm excited about. So what do you guys think about it, huh, Sugar?
Well, I definitely think that it's cool to have at least one person left, like, that's coming in and being like, hey, I still want to do this, like, and not have a problem with it. Because most people, when they're like, oh, we're bringing it back, there's always those people that never want to do it because they want to get past that part of their lives, which I think is stupid. Because if you're known for something that's so amazing and that set up a whole childhood and a youth to be brought up, why would you have a problem doing it?
Yeah.
You know, like, so as far as the, you know, as Rogue, that, what's her name again? I always hate names.
Lenore Zan.
Okay. Whoever you just said, because I can't say it. But her coming back is like, I want to hear that voice again. Like, I can hear it in my head. Obviously, I hear it on Plus, but I can hear it in my head as well. Just the whole sugar and everything. I want to keep going with that. And I don't know. It's nice to continue for me. Like, at least we have someone that wants to push the legacy forward.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, too, when I read the
Absolutely.
comics, I imagine, like I said, especially when I read a lot of X-Men, that I pretty much imagine the voices being the ones that were with the 90s animated series.
Well, it makes me very happy that they are moving right along with doing the series, the animated series for that. And 3 episodes down already for her work and whoever else is coming back for the show. That makes me super excited. I'm very excited to see it when it comes out and to hear her do Rogue again. That'll be amazing.
Yeah. Speaking of amazing things, something some might consider amazing happened in the MCU. warning, this is a big spoiler about Hawkeye. Tim.
Yeah, if you guys don't want to know anything that's going on with Hawkeye, press pause, skip about 10 minutes from now to, we get to our works and you stop seeing us laugh and go like this. As of here, we're about to go into some heavy spoilers. Tim, take it away, brother.
Yeah, so for the third warning, this is spoiler territory here. So you have exactly 3 seconds to not listen before I tell you what's going to happen. And that is that Kingpin is now in the MCU. It is official. Unbelievable. So I watched the latest episode of Hawkeye, episode 5. There's one more left, and that episode is going to be glorious. But I watched that this morning, and I believe I did what 90% of everybody else did that watched it and said, holy expletive, and pointed at the television and threw my hands up and said, I can't believe it. Can't believe it. Even though I knew it was coming, it was just awesome and amazing to see it there. You know what I mean? So, Jamie, you already know that he's there. Sonny, if you didn't know, you know now. I'm sorry.
Sonny,
We
do
talked
you
about
know?
it earlier. Yes. Earlier we talked about it, so.
But
fine.
Jamie, I'm curious because you mentioned this before. You had some big thoughts about future with Kingpin in the MCU, like doors that this could open.
Oh, yeah. Dude, it's opened so many more doors. Well, first off, you can think about Daredevil, bringing him now. You already have one aspect of it. Now, I feel like the Marvel Netflix shows are going to slowly creep in. Like, hey, we're still here. Ha, 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 ha. And I can't get over it. We might have the Defenders back. I really hope they keep Iron Fist and not Shang-Chi. So, but like, how awesome would it be for Kingpin to be in a Spider-Man movie?
No kidding.
How awesome
2
would it be
days.
right? How awesome would it be for Daredevil to get his own full feature film and Kingpin be the main person around it? And, have Elektra, have all those characters come back that did so well, in my opinion, on the Daredevil show. That him hiring Kraven the Hunter, because we already announced that there's gonna be a Kraven movie to go after Spidey or go after somebody. Like, there's so many possibilities, and especially like, I would think it'd be cool if they did like a Last Hunt, and Kingpin is the main reason behind the Last Hunt.
That would be amazing.
And like, you see him with like holding Scorpion's suit, like Kraven, and then you have Kingpin just calling the shots. Like, there's so many opportunities here that they could miss. MCU, Disney, hire me. I can help. I promise. So I never stop thinking or sleeping, I guess. But dude, like, there's so much you could do. There's so many avenues. And not to mention, you have the Punisher. All you gotta do is not do Circle of Blood, and you're fine. $1 million franchise, multi-billion-dollar franchise right there.
Circle of Blood.
500,000.
That's exactly what they need to do now.
Make $1 billion more with it.
Yeah.
Make
You mean
Avengers
$1 billion?
records.
They're gonna put Disney Plus out of, format.
Sonny, what do you think about it? What do you think about Kingpin being in there?
Like you were saying, there could be a lot of things they can do. Like I said, I'm hoping there's like a Daredevil movie. They gotta have Alistair Smythe by Kingpin's side, floating around, and his little robot, machine flying wheelchair, whatever you would call it.
Right.
I feel they got this episode of the animated series. I'm pretty sure Kingpin pushed him over one time. They gotta do that at least one time in the movies. But yeah, it definitely opens up a lot, and yeah, it should be really interesting. And it definitely makes me want to see the Hawkeye show more. And at least it's good that he appeared in the second last episode, because now it makes you wonder, like, at least it's not at the very end of the show he appeared. You get a full episode with him.
The whole series so far is good. I think, not counting What If, this is my favorite of the Avengers era characters. Like with the shows and things like that. I think Hawkeye's absolutely amazing, and it's doing a really good balance between Clint and Kate Bishop, and their story arcs, and finishing Clint's and starting Kate's and stuff like that. They're doing a really good job.
Yeah, it's been good so far. I'm right after we're done with this episode. Actually, I'm gonna sit there, sit and watch it. Get some
Right on. It's only 39 minutes, so it's short for what the rest
probably
of the
why
so far.
They're like, we just gotta fit this in short and sweet, baby.
Right there, you go. That's all you need.
Nice. Yeah. Okay, and for that takes care of our comic news for the day. Next week I'm sure there'll be more. Yeah, which with this week a lot wasn't coming in until literally like today and yesterday.
Yep. Last night we even posted. We were like, "Hey guys, did you guys get anything this week?" And we had like 3 things, and we are like, "No." And then this morning I was literally trying to type to you guys at work while I was taking a call, which I'm not.
It was obvious.
Was it the same lady from last week?
She's actually called 2 more times. I have literally made sure I have to go to do a different status to get away from her, like Sonny, so someone else can take the call.
Sonny, you have to call her and tell her to put the pressure on.
Yes, call him more. I don't think you know about those batteries. I think they're gonna explode. They're gonna explode unless you call.
I just need to know. I just need you to tell me.
Just tell me, and I just need. Dude, it is like a straight up Sopranos thing. She sounds like she's straight. She's like Tony Soprano's wife. It's hilarious. But we're gonna move on to our episode 7. Your premiere. Speaking of shows.
The premiere only 2 days away. Yeah, we know we got Spider-Man coming up, and then we also have
still a bold move there.
Yes, series by the series will premiere on YouTube December 17th. It's all done. I've watched it. Now I can sit back, relax, and let everybody else enjoy it. And even too, I've come to terms. I said, okay, this is it. It's done. Just sit back, relax. I said, enjoy. If I see any little mistakes, because I'm always critiquing my work, just to say, okay, now it's time just to learn from that. So the next time I've learned, and I correct my mistakes. So I hope everybody can relax, have fun, and watch it.
At some point, you just have to watch it. At some point, you just have to stop tinkering with everything and just put it out there and let people watch it and enjoy it. I can't wait for it. I'm not going to see Spider-Man so I can watch a series about a series.
Thank you.
I'm going to see Spider-Man because everyone's going to spoil a series about a series.
Right, there you go. No, I'm excited.
Why does Sonny have his shirt off? Just tell me. I need to know.
Well, you'll find out in the episode.
Hey, you'll find out. You'll have to check it out.
We're excited. I'm excited.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I can't wait to see it. And I'll give you a call after I watch it so I can tell you how awesome it is.
Thank you. Sounds
good.
And
I'll give you a call on Sunday when I watch it and tell you that you just did a good job, buddy, and I hope the best.
Right on.
Thank you.
All the best with your future endeavors.
Thank you. Well, some of my future endeavors are our future endeavors, since I am part of the Code X podcast, and one of the things I made sure to do. Well, we talked about a one shot a while ago. You guys told me about it, and then we had our first one shot with writer Casey Gilley, the writer of Buffy the Last Vampire Slayer, Star Wars Adventures, and My Little Pony. And on Monday, I had my one shot with her. We spoke, and it was about 12 minutes, and we put the video up, and I thought it went really well. It was my first time ever actually interviewing somebody, so I was like, I hope I do good. And she pretty much did a good job. I asked the question, and then she pretty much took it away. She made it very easy for me.
Yes, I seen like the little bit of nerves in you, but like it seemed like you were just trying to find like a good way to like a segue and add like a haha here and and all this. But dude, I love the interview. I know I have to edit it, but I watched it like I said 50 something times already. Like I'm just like, oh, we're finally there. Like we finally got a one shot. And it was just crazy to see. But again, I give Sonny props because me and Tim were both working. And he had the availability and the time to make it happen. So thank you.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Especially for that. And to see her and hear what she had to say about the writing process. And if you guys haven't checked it out, go check out the YouTube channel, the Codex Podcast. Go check out the one shot and let us know what you think down below. I mean, she literally gave you everything. She gave you more than one shot. She gave you 2 technically because you asked about the writing process. She goes, "Do you want to know how I got the job, or do you want to know how I'm like the writing between the artist and the letter?" And you're like, whatever works for you. She did both.
Yeah.
And dude, she just took over the interview. It was amazing.
That was awesome. It was 12 minutes of a treasure trove of information and really getting into the process that she goes through, at least when she was doing Buffy and working with the artist and the letters and the color and things like that. That was absolutely amazing. It was really cool to have you pick her brain on that portion for a second and listen to what she had to say about that. And there were a couple of parts in there where I laughed out loud too. And I thought that was really cool. So
Yeah, she was really cool. Thanks again, Casey, for doing that. Our one shot. And yeah, like I said, I, as a writer, love to hear about the writing process and everything. And I was too reading
But
Buffy
it's
the Last
totally
Vampire
different
Slayer.
form.
Yep. But I'm writing. I write in many forms. Always learning, and I always want to.
This
do
is not my
something
final
different.
form.
Yes, like
Okay, okay,
Pokemon.
Tarantino.
Like Pokemon, I evolve.
Into a slow bro. Okay, let's go.
But we got some decoding panel stuff too to talk about. The newest episode came out yesterday, and that was a short story in Silver Surfer annual number 6 called The Axe. Guys, if you haven't seen that, take a look at it. It's less than 7 minutes. It's a really quick listen to, and it's pretty awesome. I had a lot of fun doing that. We got the other short story having to do with Jack Arts. I believe so. Yep. And then the main story from Silver Surfer annual number 6, which is the first appearance of Legacy. And that comes out.
Same week, we'll have the full story complete with the backstories attached.
Yep, all 3 stories in one from the annual. Also coming up for Decoding Panels, you got Dark Ages number 3. That's in the process of being scripted out. Dark Knights of Steel number 2, also in the process of being scripted out. Sonny, you're going to be super excited.
Done. Oh no, it's 2. 2 is good. 2 you're working on. Sorry, never mind. Don't mind me. I'm just thinking in my head.
Sonny, you're going to be super excited about this. Circle of Blood is all but complete. I'm going to finish the last 2 voiceovers for it.
Oh, tonight. Speaking of that, I lost all of the files.
Speaking of slow poke and slow bro.
Well, I delete all
slow. It was like say hi, and I hit the buttons.
But yeah, Circle of Blood, that's going to be the first major series story that we got coming for you. I do believe that's going to be coming at the beginning of the year. Is that right, Jamie?
Yeah, that should be the beginning of the year. Yeah. And not a way to kick off the year.
It's a great way to begin the year.
Well, I'll tell you,
Sonny,
I've not read the issues like until I started doing the decoding panel stuff for it on purpose, because I wanted to go into it fresh and I wanted to try and experience it the way you did when you were younger and you read it. And I have to say that I agree with Jamie on this.
Get out of here.
So
wait, how much did Jamie pay you?
$0, because this type of negative review you can only get for free. No, it's the first issue was amazing.
You know what? Do me a favor, just give us your rating now that you've been saying it, because we know you're gonna have a rating.
It's hard because like you have to rate it on a per issue basis, because each issue has nothing to do with the other issue, with the exception of the overarching story of the Circle of Blood, the war. And
what about Texas?
Texas. That was a cool voice to do.
Have
I'll tell you that.
Millions around the world. Texas, you ready?
I'm ready.
Well, speaking of voices, I do gotta say, Tim, this last Decoding Panels was probably my favorite one.
The shopkeeper.
All of them. I was like,
yeah, oh my God.
All 3 voices. The shopkeeper, the pickpocket was probably even my favorite part, when he's like, oh, my hand, please, it hurts.
Well, I tell you, when I was doing the shopkeeper,
awesome
I was wiggling my fingers like this the whole time.
You know how funny it was? Because Tim will leave. I tell Tim, if you're gonna say something to me, don't do it at the end, because I cut everything at the beginning and I know the end is set perfectly, so I can just cut the not needed air that you have. And because he used to like say something at the beginning and then make a joke at the end, and somehow I'd always watch it back, and then I'd hear the joke at the end. I'm like, come on, man, like I gotta do this whole part. So he starts doing it at the beginning now, which is fine because it's easier for me. This one, he's like, Jamie, I'm letting you know right now. This is page 35. I'm playing the shopkeep. And the entire time I'm doing this, I am twiddling my fingers. And the more he said it, you heard this like the in the mic.
Sir.
Yeah, evening, sir. And like I was just like, I can hear him twiddling his fingers. Like, legitimately.
That was some of the most fun I ever had doing voiceover for Decoding Panels, because I don't think I had my kids with me, but when my son came home, I was like, Ethan, you gotta listen to this. I was doing this the whole time. Dad, come on.
Even well, I was trying to pick by you seem legitimately scared and out of breath when he's
I just hold my hand like that. I get into it. I get very expressive when I do the voiceovers and stuff. I don't just sit there and read the script that I type out. I like to be very animated. So
well, man, you did a phenomenal job with both you guys. Jim, I know you do the editing. Tim, you did the voices.
Thank
you. Phenomenal job. It was probably my favorite Decoding Panels so far. So I definitely suggest everybody checks that out.
Out of all the awesome ones we do, the short is Sonny's favorite.
The voices. I love it, but the
Did
voices.
it keep your attention span? What's going on here, man?
Those voices. And it's one of the ones you can go over and over again.
Oh, yeah.
I definitely liked my favorite voice he's done so far was Alfred. Like it had to be Alfred was my favorite voice
for Spawn,
like,
and Batman.
Yeah, and he literally told me inside, like he made a little side note. He goes, Jamie, I'm gonna try an English accent here. If you don't like it, don't put it in. I laughed so hard, I just kept it.
It had to be.
I was like, this is too perfect. I can't just. I'm like, I can't get rid of this. And it's like, good day, sir. I'm like, oh my god, we're doing this.
I was trying so hard to get it right, and like the way that McFarlane had drawn Alfred is his face is all droopy and he looks all, like over sophisticated. So I tried to put that in there, and I think I was telling our friend Bowden, I was telling him, I was like, I only know how to do two voices, my voice high pitched and low pitched, and that's it. So that was a major attempt to try something different.
Well, we're definitely entertained, so that's what it's all about, right?
Well, I guess I gotta ask something, and we already don't. But do you know, guys, what time it is?
Tim, do you?
No, I don't, because I don't have a watch on.
Anyone got the time for Tim so he can figure this out?
Time for Do You Know?
Oh, that's amazing.
Woo!
Okay, so the wins so far, Sonny, you have one, Jamie, you have one, and then both of you are tied, and I still have a big fat 0.
You figured out last week?
Yeah. So I've been keeping track since episode 23. So yeah,
okay,
one win for Jamie,
okay.
One win for Sonny, one tie for both of you, and then big fat 0 for me.
All right, here we go. Oh, how do we have it in the notes of who goes first?
It is you, Sonny.
You go first, Tim goes, and then me.
Okay. And since today we'll be going over G.I.Joe, I thought I'd do some research on G.I.Joe and give you guys some questions from it. I'll be asking them in silence. I will mute my mic as I ask you guys.
I know a lot about G.I.Joe.
I'm still going to get the same answer. You're still going to get the same answer from me.
Okay. So, in Deadpool, the 2000 series, which issue paid homage to G.I. Joe? The silent interlude.
Wasn't it Detective Deadpool?
So,
are you looking for an issue number?
So you have issue number. Yeah, this is Deadpool 2000 series.
Number 2, number 12. 12. I'll go 12.
12. Jamie, so it is just Deadpool.
I know it was Detective Deadpool. Well, it was like a True Believers issue.
I'm not too sure about the True Believers issue, but when you look it up, it's just regular Deadpool. Do you want to give a guess?
Deadpool 25.
Deadpool number 42.
We were way off.
So it was the double the issue number, basically.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
That is it. Deadpool number 42. They paid homage to G.I. Joe Silent Interlude.
Okay, so like you, Sonny, all of my questions are G.I. Joe specific. So we'll go ahead and get started. The first question I have, what was the actor's name that played Snake Eyes in the first live action G.I. Joe?
I don't know, so I'm gonna say Vin Diesel.
Yeah.
He
Sonny?
did it for family.
That's very true.
In that case, Jamie, I'm gonna have to go with Paul Walker.
You're both
I don't
wrong.
remember any explosions.
It is Ray Park, and you'll know him from his wonderful performance in X-Men as Toad and as Darth Maul in Star Wars.
Yeah. I know who the actor is. I just didn't know that was him.
Yeah, so Ray Park was the guy that played Snake Eyes.
All right, so I went totally different because I don't know that much about G.I. Joe. And I'm not going to ask questions based on G.I. Joe if I don't know nothing about it. So I kind of took some of my favorite aspects that I've learned over the years through comics. So first one is I am a big fan of Justice League Dark. For those of you that don't know, so I like the little mystical realm stuff. So guys, do you know how Detective Chimp got his powers?
In a scientific lab accident.
Through reading a Sherlock Holmes novel that was cursed with knowledge.
No, actually, you guys are both wrong. He fell into the Fountain of Youth when he was with Rex the Wonder Dog.
I was
And
close.
he was able to speak to all creatures and humans and animals in their own language, and he has eternal youth. So his intelligence is more than superhuman, and basically he had like a brief cameo in Crisis on Infinite Earths in Gorilla City before he had the powers.
Huh.
Oh. Well, I did say the word accident. So it's taking me like a quarter of a point.
How about a pat on the back there, buddy?
Fan back. Okay. So there we go. We're all doing really great today.
Yes, this is starting off to be amazing.
Great start.
Jamie, just so you know, real quick, here is the image of that Deadpool comic so you guys can see.
Okay, I can see it. That's cool.
Look at that. That looks neat.
Sonny just finds the coolest things.
Or they find
And it has to show us.
Okay, so my question number 2, we're on round number 2. In 1995, there was an animated series of G.I. Joe. What was the show called?
What year?
1995.
Special Forces.
G.I. Joe. American Hero.
Jamie, you cut out again.
G.I. Joe, Real American Hero.
It was called G.I. Joe Extreme.
Yeah. I extremely did not know the answer to that.
Okay, so now we move on. I gotta change our luck. We gotta get some points on the board.
Okay. This one should be relatively easy. So with the G.I. Joe, we know we have the comic books and there's the action figure line and all that. So the question is, did the G.I. Joe comic book come before or after the toys?
Before.
It was the toys.
You're saying the toys first, both of you?
I say before the comic.
Okay. You say the comics came before the toys, and Jamie, you say the comics came after the toys, right?
Comics came after the toys.
Okay, Jamie, you are correct. So the comic books came after the toys. The original G.I. Joe toy line came out in 1963 with the 12-inch figures that they were doing for the different branches of the military. The comic that we know and love that came from the 80s came out in 1982 when the relaunch of G.I. Joe, a Real American Hero action figure toy line, was put on store shelves, and the comic book was part of multi-marketing to help boost toy sales.
But I must say, Tim, when I looked at, there was a comic, certain G.I. Joe comics that came out. It's the very first came out in 1942. It wasn't like the Marvel one came out, but it said there was a different kind in the 1942.
I think, like, I don't know anything about that. I know the G.I. Joe, a Real American Hero.
Are you looking up the answers as we're doing this? Now you got me kind of curious here, bud.
Earlier,
because that was
earlier I was
pretty quick.
Because I was almost gonna human consent questions. Because I remember it said somewhere that like since 1942, G.I. Joe's been having different kinds of comics.
Well, as far as like what I could find as far as the toy line and things like that go now, what it said was that the original G.I. Joe line, toy line that we know today, started in 1963 with that 12-inch line, and they did one for the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Coast Guard, and it just kind of went on from there, and then astronauts and et cetera, and then they did the relaunch in 1982 with the 3 3/4 inch figures, and then that's when they did the comic book and the cartoon show, and eventually the movie, all tie-ins having to do with the Real American Hero line.
Okay. If I could find that 42 one, would it switch the answer? Would it switch?
Maybe. I don't know. We'll see.
He just wants that point, so I'm not beating this.
So far, Jamie, you're the only one with a point on the board.
So, Jamie, your question.
Thank God. Let me have my moment for once.
Actually,
Jamie, it's your moment.
Yeah, here we go. I got a point. You don't. You sit down there and you're throwing lies. So we all know I like Red Hood and the Outlaws, and we've also covered an annual from them. So, do you know that Red Hood gave Bizarro a doll that came to life and now is his sidekick? What is the name of the doll?
Teddy.
Man Bat. I have no idea.
It's Pup Pup.
God almighty.
I was thinking of that.
He plays a big role throughout the halfway through the Red Hood and the Outlaw series. Like, he's always like, yeah, Bizarro, you can do it. It's okay. I'll help you. And he like pulls him out of like the worst thing he could possibly be in. And I believe at the end of the day, Bizarro's running hell and Pup Pup is his right hand.
Oh my God.
Yep.
There you go. Now we got a character to learn about. Pup Pup.
Pup Pup versus Jarro would be the most awesome fight I've ever seen in my life.
The epic showdown of the summer 2022.
Yes.
So let's make it happen.
Looking forward, yeah.
They need to.
So there we go. Round number 2 is done. Jamie with 1 point. Me and Tim are still yet to get on the board. We get with number 3. Question number 3. So, Tim, you stated earlier about the doll coming out in 1963. So then I will adjust my question to what month did the first G.I. Joe doll come out in?
August.
July. June. I'll say June.
It is February. February 2nd.
What was it? Like a Valentine's Day thing? Like, baby, I love you. Here's a G.I. Joe.
Have a 12-inch army figure.
Yeah.
God.
I have a joke there, but I'm not saying it.
He'll save your world. Okay. Third question here. So if you've read any G.I. Joe comics or know anything about who wrote the file cards or anything like that, you'll know the answer to this question.
Oh, I don't got this.
Okay, well, who has written the most G.I. Joe comics to date?
Vin Diesel.
I will say Larry Hama.
Sonny, you are correct, sir. Larry Hama. His amount of G.I. Joe comics in the main series alone, he wrote all but a handful of the 155 issues of volume 1 that was done with Marvel. And then when IDW got it and they continued the main series, they did 155 and a half. It was a free comic book day issue. Larry Hammett came on there and continued to write, I believe, until 2018, or he may still be currently doing issues now. So yeah, he's the longest standing writer for G.I. Joe specifically.
Awesome. Now Sonny's gonna get this right, or else
Come on,
we
come
tie.
on.
All right. So everyone knows also that I do have a thing for like Hawkeye and archers, you know, reading them. People that are more human that can run with gods, basically.
Legolas
So
from
with-
Lord of the Rings.
Yes, exactly. Sonny wins, game over. Think you guys are showing up? No. So in that case, because he is an archer, what guys do you know what is the name of Roy Harper or Red Arrow's daughter?
Oh,
Sonny, hands in the air. I want to see him. I saw you
Don't
look
worry.
down for a second. I was
Everyone's
like, you're not
still,
getting
it's
this.
still on that.
Okay.
I don't know. Blue Arrow.
You said what's whose daughter's name?
Red Arrow, Roy Harper.
I'll call her Ray Harper.
What'd you say?
Ray Harper.
It's Leanne Harper.
That was my second guess.
Yeah, we know. No, he actually had her when he fell in love with Cheshire. If you guys don't know who I'm talking about, check out Young Justice. That's on there. But he's big. It was big after the whole heroin needle incident with the Green Arrow Green Lantern series that came out. That tie-in. So after that, that's when that whole romance happened. He didn't find out he had a daughter till years later.
Well, right on. Well, once again, I have zero knowledge in comic books at all. Sonny and Jamie, you both tied with 1, so that's another tie in the books. Jamie, you've got 1 win. Sonny, you've got 1 win, and there are 2 ties now.
Jamie, I'll give you a fist bump up there.
God,
You froze.
I am the worst player ever for Do You Know, but I love this segment so much that I will continue.
Because yeah, one thing I do love is that
You'll
you
get
always
there
win.
one day, champ.
I'll get there someday soon.
Yeah.
God.
All right, now we're on to our toy of the weekend, Sonny. What is it?
Jamie, you picked this one out last week. It is what, in your opinion, is the greatest fight in comics and why? As usual, in no particular order, Jamie has our top 3 comments.
So we got Will Jones coming in with Tyrant whooping some beep, leaving Silver Surfer, Gladiator, Beta Ray Bill, Jack of Hearts, and I say this, but Ganymede dusted. We have Dan Kelly coming in with The Punisher versus the Russian. It's violent and absurd and was the main part of the best Punisher run ever.
So a lot of people were commenting on that one.
Yes. Number 3 was James Thompson with Dark Knight's Batman versus Superman.
Ooh, that's a good one.
So thank you guys again for everyone that answered. I thought these were some great picks. So guys, what do you think? What was your favorite fight in, or what would you consider your favorite fight ever in comic history? Or if you can nail it down to one or
Sonny, you can go ahead and take it if you want to.
Okay, yeah, well, I did see. I liked all those answers. Yeah, a lot of people were leaning towards, like I said, the Punisher versus the Russian, the Batman Superman fight, Batman Returns. Some of my top ones, I do like the fight with the X-Men and Magneto and Fatal Attractions. It's not my favorite one. Another one I do like is the DC Universe, pretty much versus the Anti-Monitor. Another top one of mine. But my favorite fight, I'm going to bring us all the way back to last week. It is the Incredible Hulk versus the Maestro. Is my favorite fight in all of comics. I've revisited it many times. You know, I love the story arc, and you know, it's the climax of the story. And I love to also the nostalgia when they're using Captain America's shield. They use even Betty's her urn, and everything is being used and thrown around.
Even the
And then-
kitchen sink.
literally everything
Literally.
is brutal. It's the perfect fight to finish off a comic, and like I said, I've revisited it many times, and that is my favorite fight in all of comics is the Hulk versus the Maestro. What are you guys?
Mine is gonna be the Fantastic Four versus Galactus. A lot of people were choosing one person versus another, Spider-Man versus Doc Ock, Craven versus Spider-Man, Batman versus Superman, et cetera, et cetera. But I mean, if you really go back to it, wasn't that like the first major cosmic event that took place in Marvel Comics history at the time? The coming and then the arrival of Galactus and the Fantastic Four having to deal with that and the Ultimate Nullifier and all that stuff. That to me, I think, is the greatest fight in comics history.
Awesome.
Good pick.
And then,
Jamie.
in my opinion, remember, this is my opinion. Like, everyone has their own. Some honorable mentions, like I said last week, was that Hal Jordan versus Guy Gardner book. Oh my God, I love that because it's just two guys just going at it, and they're just like, you know what, rings off, no powers. Let's see what happens. Let's scrap. But one of my favorites actually happened is more modern, is Spider-Man versus the Red Goblin. If you guys have not been able to read that, read that. It's where Norman Osborn gets a part of the Carnage symbiote, and it takes him over, and Carnage literally takes over the Goblin. And he's going at everyone, destroying everything, and just to see for the first time in a long time, it looked like Spider-Man defeated.
Wow.
And I'm not saying like, oh, I gotta muster up the will to through this. No, he was he got slammed into a building. He's laying there with everything torn, broken, and bruised. And he's like, I don't know if I can pull this off. And it was just just seeing that as depicted, it was great. Now, the whole arc wasn't great because I felt like the writer at the time forgot there was 2 more issues. But the main part of it was great. Like, one of the best fights I've seen in a very, very long time.
Nice.
Cool. I actually have some unexpected ones that, but that makes me want to check them out. And that's why I do like to have all these conversations with you guys, because it leads me towards reading other great comic books.
Right on.
Exactly. It's always great to hear what you guys have to say.
Yes, there we have it. We have the Hulk versus the Maestro. We have the Fantastic Four versus Galactus. We have Spider-Man versus the Red Goblin. And with some honorable mentions, like we said, Hal Jordan versus Guy Gardner.
I'm curious to read that. Do you know what the issue number is for that?
I think it was 24. I'll send it to you afterwards. I talked about it
Okay.
last week. I'll get the issue for you again.
Yeah, just put it in the chat with the 3 of us, because I'm interested in checking that out.
Yeah, dude. Like I said, that was one of my favorites. He just gets tired of being a part of the Justice League International and wants to be on the main roster. He's so mad because Hal Jordan's never there. And he's like, as soon as Hal gets to Earth, he's like, all right, we're doing this for the main roster. Like, I need to be known again. And they get into it. I just love how he's like, okay, rings off, and it's in big letters. And I'm just like, and it's just so funny because Superman and Batman are standing back there just watching, like taking bets.
Sometimes you just gotta let them duke it out.
Yeah, just let them finish.
You gotta let them do this. Yeah. So yeah, but yeah. So I guess this week from there, that's the topic of the week. Again, another one will be posted up this weekend. This weekend, I'll make sure it is this weekend. I've been kind of busy with everything, so I've been trying to get it as soon as I can. Next we move into the review, I think, right? Yep.
That is right. Review. We're in G.I.Joe, A Real American Hero, number 21, Silent Interlude. And Tim, you picked this out for us.
Yep.
Jamie, I was wondering how you would like to go forward with reviewing it. Obviously, this is an interesting comic, a different one. Would you like to start first, and me, or how do you?
Do you want me to go? It doesn't matter.
I'll let you start. I'll let you take it away.
Me? Okay, I'll take it away.
I'll let you take it away, and then I'll continue.
Yeah. So this was something cool. I've only experienced this one other time in a book where the art told the story. And I think that's Black Widow issue 1 from like 2014, 2015. But yeah, this book is basically like from what I can understand is a search and rescue kind of book. I had to ask Tim because I have no knowledge of G.I.Joe whatsoever. Who are the characters in here so I know for today's review? And we have Snake Eyes, Oh my God, Destro,
You have Destro.
Yeah.
Destro, Cobra Commander,
Yeah.
and oh my God, I'm missing one.
Storm Shadow.
Storm Shadow. Thank you. I'm sorry. See, now
No
I'm gonna get
problem.
like, yeah, I'm gonna get ridiculed in the comments for this.
And Scarlet is the lady, the damsel in
damsel.
distress.
Well,
Scarlet.
dude, like just to see how I'm gonna go straight into it with the art. I'll let you guys partake in the story more, but how it was portrayed through seeing like the entrance into it, like the fights that broke out. There's the only words we get are on a monitor throughout this
Yeah.
whole thing to describe what's happening, and that's for a brief panel. I just thought it was awesome. Like like you knew what was happening, you knew what was the fight, you knew what they were doing and going for. You didn't know at the beginning, but as the story progressed, you figured it out. And I love that aspect of having. You don't always need the writer to have words on the page. You can tell through art, and that's all you really need. So in this case, that's what they did. They nailed it on that. Tim, this is a great choice, for
Right
your
on.
first one, even though we couldn't find it at first.
That's inconsequential.
That's your fault. You gotta start talking to us beforehand. But no,
That's neither here nor there.
Well, we couldn't find it here nor there.
But I'm glad you liked it though. That was the
So-
thing I was most concerned with.
Overall, I would give this a 10 out of 10. But because I don't know who anybody is or what happened, or if they beat up the bad guy or not, this got a 9.5 for me.
That's very
I thought it was
respectful.
great. I thought it was amazing. I really want to know who everybody is because I don't. But I really want to know that what the writer's objective was and how he formatted this to be told through art.
Right on. Okay, so 9.5. That's very, very solid. Sonny, I'm very curious to hear what you have to say about
Okay.
this.
Yeah, so Jamie, like you were taking, like you said, it's a search and rescue. It's Snake Eyes going out to rescue Scarlet, and excuse me. Yeah, a lot of story that, like you said, basically it's search and rescue, and
You're right there. Dear God, he's summoning a demon.
yeah, so trying to get me. They're always trying to get me, but they won't take over. Sorry about that. Yeah, it's like I said, very interesting. Nothing like it. Where, like I said, I've never read. You mentioned the Black Widow issue, but I haven't seen anything like that where it's no dialogue. It's just the art. Like I said, it's more art telling the story, the actions, the characters. The thing is, like you said, Jamie, I was unfamiliar with some of the characters. I knew Snake Eyes. Some of the ones I more knew, like looks like, oh, okay, I've seen this character, I've seen that character, but I was like, man, I really wish I'm like, sometimes I wish there was some dialogue so I could figure out who is who.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, it's one of those like iconic comics. It's so different, and I love when I do see something take a risk, like a big risk. I'm like, wow, this is a unique comic and takes a big risk of having no dialogue, and it's one that you could definitely revisit many times because it's not going to take much time because you're not reading anything, you're going through it. So I mean, I don't know how many times I went through it this week, and even each time I feel like my rating has been getting higher and higher since now. I'm like, okay, since I first went through it, I was like, oh, I kind of wish that I knew more. And then when I've been doing more research, like I said, figuring out who the characters are.
Well, let me ask you this, Sonny. Then, when you give your rating, what would your rating have been on just the one-off read versus what you're presenting today?
So for me, in the beginning, I was going at a 7.8 because I said I really don't know anybody. But when I revisited it, and because I'm like, this is when I want to revisit, and I do definitely feel that it'd be a lot better in actual comic form because I'm like, oh, this is something I could see if I had this a long time ago. I don't know how many times I would have gone through it. So I enjoy G.I.Joe, a real American hero, number 21, Silent Interlude. Like I said, it's so original, and I believe this is one that will be like a flexible rating for me because I could see in time. Like I said, each time since the rating keeps going up. So right now I give it an 8.5.
Okay.
Nice.
Right on. That was the thing I was most concerned with, was whether you guys were gonna like this or not. One, because
my biggest problem though was like I all I know of G.I. Joe was the one with Channing Tatum and what's his name?
The Rock.
Gordon Joseph
Joseph
Levitt.
Gordon-Levitt. Yeah. Robin from The Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah. Or Blake or whatever his name was.
Right.
But yeah, that's all I remember coming into, and I don't know how long it's been since I've seen that movie, so I can't really tell you the name of the characters. But I knew Snake Eyes movie was coming out.
Yeah. Well, with this issue, the legacy for this issue is astronomical. This has been copied and homaged numerous times since G.I. Joe number 21 has come out. I'll give my rating right away. I love this issue. I give it a 10 out of 10. I think that Jamie, I think you said
Sunny too.
I know. Stepping out of the box and trying something different that's never been done before, telling a story in just a visual medium and not with any word bubbles or anything like that. The letterer got the day off that day, but Larry Hama's writing in that is still phenomenal because he was able to portray to the artist exactly how we wanted each panel to be, and the artist did a fantastic job in bringing that to life and showing that search and rescue effort. Absolutely. But I think Scarlet is the star that shines a little bit brighter in this issue, because even though Snake Eyes is coming in to rescue her, she's the one that kind of frees herself and has to rescue him at the end.
Comes in the way.
Yeah, exactly. So I thought that was really cool. But the other important thing with this issue is this is the revelation that these two guys have the same tattoo. And that's where the history with Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow really starts to unravel. Absolutely amazing.
It was that like red checker kind of
the right there on the forearm. Yeah, because at the last panel, Storm Shadow's looking up and his bandages are all torn up, and whoop, there it is. Oh, hey, look at that. Wait a minute, Snake Eyes has the same thing.
When I was doing some research, I did find out like about the making of it, because I was really interested in, like, it's an interesting issue. It definitely gets you talking, so a good pick. And it said that the original issue number 21 was somehow lost in print.
Oh, wow.
So they needed to do something fast in 3 weeks. So Larry Hama was getting to work on it, and then he decided, you know what if we just don't have any bubbles, we don't have any dialogue, it's just great artwork.
That would cut it down.
You got to work
dramatically.
Yeah, and look
3
at
weeks
it
later.
now.
Look at it. Yeah, like I said, worked out perfectly, and it's often I've seen it on many lists of like best single issues ever. So
yeah,
it's definitely a legendary issue.
Well, I'm glad you guys loved it. Jamie, you did the 9.5. Sonny, you had an 8.5, and I give it a straight 10 out of 10. That's very respectful. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's definitely better than 8 altogether.
Yeah.
And Tim, you sent us a video of the stop motion.
Did you watch it?
I watched it, and they did a perfect job. Everything was straight from the comic.
That's amazing.
It was like panel by panel.
Yep. All stop motion, and I think it was about 12 or 13 minutes, something like that. It wasn't very long, but the amount of work that they put into that, guys, if you haven't seen it, it's on YouTube. All you have to do is type in G.I. Joe silent interlude stop animation, and you'll find it. It's one of the first videos. I think it's got Snake Eyes right on the front, looks just like the cover for G.I. Joe number 21. Check that out. It's absolutely amazing. Agreed. After you read the issue and watch that, because with the added music and biffs and things like that, it adds a whole new dynamic to the issue.
That was a great one. And Jamie, earlier you were talking about getting the spotlight, so right now we do put the spotlight on you. It's time for your next pick.
All right, and I talk about this every time I get a chance to, and I've been wanting to. This was the first book I was going to give Sonny to review, but I changed my mind because I didn't want to be biased. So, ladies and gents, we're going to be reviewing Blackest Night.
The entire storyline?
The 8 issue.
Nice.
Okay.
If you guys want to read tie-ins, go for it. They do tie. That's the one book that I could say they do tie in perfectly.
So one thing, maybe I should have messaged you before. I have read it. Should I just revisit it?
Yes, revisit it. I'll get. How about this? I'll add in some tie-ins for you. That way you can check it out.
Sure. Yeah. Let me know about the some tie-ins. I'll tie it in. Okay. So there you go.
That way we give it a grade overall. Tim, if you want same tie-ins, we'll give them to you too.
Oh yeah.
Just make sure because it's 8 issues. I know Sonny, you said you've already read it, but I wanted to review this so bad on the show. We have to.
I
Well, it's
know
been a long time, so I'm used to go over it again.
I know a fair portion of it, but I don't know a whole lot of it. I know the question was brought back to life during that event. So
Yeah. So what we'll do is, obviously, guys, like normal, we'll probably have a couple issues within the next couple weeks, and then by the end, or maybe mid-January, early January, we'll be ready
Okay.
for it.
Cool.
Sounds good.
That way,
I'm
if
sure
we
next
do-
week probably be a Christmas issue, I'm guessing.
Yeah. So we'll throw in some, what do you call it? Like single issues, and I'll throw in some tie-ins for you guys to check out. So that way we cover all bases.
Right on.
Cool. Looking forward to it. We will get to Green Lantern Blackest Night soon. And like I said, throughout the next upcoming weeks, we'll have some single issues. And I think we can call that a day, call that a show. And next week, if we could be getting ready for Christmas, episode 27 of the next podcast. So for me, take care, everybody.
All right, guys. And as usual, make sure you like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any more of the content that we're going to be putting out for you guys. Make sure you leave those milk and cookies out for Spider-Man this weekend. He sure is going to need them. And you guys be kind to one another. I will see you guys in the next one.
And don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, to check us out on all the socials, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, right here on Twitch, also Spotify and YouTube. All you have to do is search for the Codex Podcast, and we are right there, right in front of you. Lots of cool stuff on YouTube, decoding panels from the vaults, one-shots, breaking the code, all kinds of stuff for you. So don't hesitate to give us a like on any of the socials, follow us where we're at, so that way you can keep up with all the new information and new news that we have coming out for you. All right, guys, you have a good one.